Hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome everyone.
I didn't see you there. Come in and join us. See, I'm getting all like, Lisa's had me watching all these Christmas movies, so I'm getting all a bit pathetic, you know. Come and join me in my workshop.
Yeah.
Make some toys.
Yeah.
Right, don't forget, you can read it, don't need to say it. Right, it's got. One, I wanted to say thank you guys to all the Christmas wishes we had and everything. It was fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. Very nice of you, very kind. Yeah. Now I've had a couple of bits. Obviously, I know a lot of you have got your new carbides for Christmas, and whether you've got out to have a go with them yet, or this is Boxing Day today, so whether you've been out today or whether you're getting out tomorrow or whatever, you're going to be excited to use them. Might not be new to you with turning. You might be been turning for a few years and you use your traditional tools and you want to go into using a bit of carbide or whatever. Not just for people that bought my tools, but for all tools. A lot of people got carbides for this Christmas. So I thought I'd do a quick little video on a good way to present them, because I know a lot of people get them, and I've had turners say to me, they thought, oh fantastic, oh it moves the wood so quick and it's really good, and they said, oh, but the finish isn't great. And a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm getting a lot of tear out, and then I have trouble sanding it out, and once it's there, once you've got that deep tear out in there, it's hard to get rid of. So I thought just give you a few little tips when you're using them on a good way to use them. Okay, whether you're doing spindle work or bowl work, just easy setup and how to do them. Now I had a message from
Mindy Hill,
who very religiously, because she's been led to believe that you must always keep the tool dead flat and vertical to your lathe bed, so you're like this, parallel to your lathe bed. Yep. Not vertical. Vertical would be like that. This is horizontal. And keeping it flat. And has noticed how I always say about rolling it or dropping. She noticed I was dropping the handle down, and she's always very religiously tried to keep it like this. So I thought I'd cover a little bit with that. Okay. Right, now I don't suggest, now if you're going from traditional tools and you've been turning for a while and you're experienced with your traditional tools and you're going to have, this won't even come to you because you wouldn't use them flat anyway. You'll already know how to present a cutting edge to a piece of wood. So to put these in flat, you wouldn't even consider it, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. Now, the only tools you really ever use flat, scrapers. Okay, now these are not scrapers. Don't listen to all the hype. They're just people who don't know what they're talking about. Right, now, I'm going to start with just a bit of spindle. Okay, very quick. I know I've done all this before, guys, and if you've seen it all before, then just skip on. It doesn't matter. But there's new turners that might want to know. Okay, right, now, we're going to set up, and we normally use your square. Now, I'm on centre, okay. Now, you do normally use your square for this. I'm just going to put my coffee over there. Right, I'm going to put my face shield on, and a quick one for people. I get so many comments, people asking me, what is my face shield? Right, this is the Evolution. It's from Axminster Tools, okay? Not picking up Axminster Tools in any way, but it wasn't given to me. I bought it, my own money. It's the APF 10 Evolution, okay? From Axminster Tools. Now, I know JSP do the same thing and they're different prices for different things. I got mine from Axminster Tools. Been very happy with it. I've had this must be coming on for about 4, 5, maybe 5 years now. Might be 6 years that I've had mine.
And you got mine as well.
Yeah, and I bought Lisa one just recently, and I'm more than happy with it. Over the moon. Okay, mine's getting in a bit of a state now, but I must say I will never turn without it. And if it packed up tomorrow, I would not hesitate to buy another one. Yeah. Okay, so. And if you wear glasses and you find it a bit awkward putting these on, okay, easiest way, turn it on first, get this bit here, yeah, pop that under your chin, and then just pull it over the top. And it doesn't pull your glass. If you try putting it on there and pulling it down, you always find it's pulling your glasses down, things like that. If you wear glasses, put it under your chin and over the top. Okay, right, I'm going to spin this bit of wood up. It's just a spindle, it's only a short piece. Okay, right, now we've done it before. We've talked about with this, and a lot of you will think just come in and do this. And you will think, oh, fantastic. Fantastic, and it is fantastic. It removes your wood so quick, it's lovely, okay? That's not a bad finish, it's pretty clean, okay? They do give a nice clean finish, especially if you get your speed. Speed is very important with carbide, okay? I've said it before. Now, as with pushing straight in, and it will remove it, but you will find, if you're just using it like that, you will blunt your cutters a lot quicker, okay? Anything you do use as a scraper, you will blunt, okay? Now, the way I like to rough down with it is just to roll it over slightly. It don't have to be 45, but just a little bit. It's not quite as aggressive or quite as fast. Okay. So I will come down. I will get this down to round. It's not quite round yet. Now if you just turn it over, now what you don't, just watch you don't catch with that part of the cutter. Now this is where I'm on centre, but with it I would normally like to be just a fraction higher. So I'm actually presenting the tool a little bit above centre. I'm probably about 3 or 4 mil, about 4 mil above centre, okay? And then there's less chance of that top point ever catching. Okay, and we can come along like this. Now if you look, I've got the chisel slightly rolled. It's not quite 45, that's probably about 40. I've got my handle pointing away from where I'm the way, so it's the handle's behind the cutting edge, okay? If I was going that way, my handle would be down that side. Not straight in front and never forward, okay? Right, so I'm doing it this way because it's easier for me. So I've rolled over to 40, I've put the handle that way, and I'm dropping the handle down slightly. So I'm going to come in, there's my cut. I don't want to be right on the point, so I just raise the handle a little bit. And that's what we're doing. I've got a little flat there still. Let me go a little bit more. I'll get this just so it's smooth. Right, there we go. Okay, so by rolling over and going along, and then for the spindles, that's the finish you'll have, okay? There's nothing to sand on there, there's no torn grain, there's nothing. You come right in on that and you can see there is no torn or lifted grain or anything, okay? And you'll get that every time on your spindles. It doesn't matter what the wood is, you will get that finish, okay? So just when you come in, I know everyone says flat, push it. No, okay? All we do is slight tilt, anything between 30 and 40 sort of degrees, okay? Handle behind the cutting edge, come in, drop your handle a little bit, and then we cut this way, okay? And we cut along like that, and you'll get as good a finish as anyone gets with a skew, okay? Off of your carbide. Same if you're using the rounds, you'll do exactly the same. Now if you did by any chance get a little bit of tear out on here, okay, your best tool for it, you've got it in your thing, detail. A lot of people say they don't use this chisel, okay, because they think all it's for is doing this and doing this sort of thing. They think that's all it's good for, just doing that, okay. Bring this chisel in, drop the handle right down nice and low, come in on the bevel, no cutting. Just slide it along like that. Now that, the smoothness of that, there, look. So even if you had a little bit of torn grain that the other didn't get, come along with that and it's completely gone. It's not just for doing these sort of things, okay? You got that it's classed as a detail. What else do you call it really? It is a detail, but well, yeah, there's left no detail on that. Right now, the other thing is for the bowls, because I used it the other day on a bowl. Now I've done a piece of laburnum, same as this, yeah, and I put it on, and fortunately, and I'm really glad I did, because Robert Hart, he actually messaged me to say he just got his 2-inch roughing gouge, and he had a very similar piece of wood that he put on, and he was going to use his 2-inch roughing gouge. And I think he said he went to have a go and he thought, oh, hang on, something's not right there. And I'm glad he did. Yeah. And he actually see the video, and he said after seeing my video, he knows now that is an absolute no-no, okay, with the roughing gouge. Now, I don't suggest you go out and try starting with pieces like this, especially if you're new to turning. If you're experienced turning, you're not even going to need to watch this. You've already know. Now, to get an idea of some of your cuts, okay, for tear out, because people get the trouble with getting the tear out on the bowls and things, especially with the carbide. Now, what I would suggest, these spindles, what I have like this, right, I've just cut one down in half. Don't run before you can walk. Start off small. Don't go and stick things like this on, okay, to practice with. Save those for doing when you know how to present it, okay? Don't go out there your first turn in and chuck bits like this on. Go out and have a couple of days, take a bit of time, okay? A little bit of practice. Now, I'd always say to anyone, first starting, nice little bit of 2x2. Now, this is a bit of beech, okay? Now, that would be spindle, what we've just done. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it round that way, and we're going to put it on here, and we're going to turn this how we would turn a bowl, okay, because that is now what we would call face work, or like I always say, bowl orientation. That's how a bowl would be, okay. And what we're going to do the same. We're going to come in here. Now, a lot of people would start, if you've got a bowl on there, you can imagine this would be a bigger piece of wood, but if you're new to turning, I'm going to go through some bigger bits, but I wouldn't suggest if you're new to turning you start off with a big piece. Get the feel of the chisel first, okay? Get the feel of the tools. So, now, I wouldn't use a square, because a square, if I come in, it's the same as using like a roughing gouge, all right? I'm going to do it first off, just to show you. Okay, this is just to show you what happens. So you come in here, and you're going to see you can do this. Now you can see it's grabbing, okay? So I'm going to tighten it up. This is why I use step, centre and point, because if I get a catch, it stops. Right. Now, I'm just going to stop at that, and I want you to see exactly what's happening. Now, see, this is what happens, is it pulls it out here, and it will pull it out here, okay? Now, this isn't really bad. I'm turning quite fast, as I always do. Speed is your friend in it. Now, if I slow it down to what you would normally be turning at, well, what they would say you'd turn at. So, right, I'm just at 1400, okay? And I'm going to start at that. Right, that's just the pushing in, and this is what it's doing, look, and this is where the problem is, because what it wants to do is it wants to tear these lengths of wood off here, and look at the end grain, look what it's done to it. Okay, now if that happens when you're turning, if you're using flat, that's gone in quite deep. They're a good couple of mil deep. You can't even sand that out, because you can't sand out torn grain. You have to sand everything around it to get down to the level that the tear out is. And we've got it on both sides here, okay? So I'm going to pull that in. So we wouldn't use a square. So we go to the round, and we'll do the same. And we'll shape it. We've all seen it. Look, we come in and we start doing some shaping. And we think, God, that moves the wood fast. And it does. But this is what we get. We'll get this again. You can't avoid it, okay? And we'll get this torn grain. It's not as bad with the round because obviously we've got a slightly smaller area that's in contact, but we're still getting it bad, okay? Now the one thing is to get your speed up. That is way too slow, especially with a small piece, right? So I'm going to get my speed back up to where I normally go. Okay, right. Now I'm going to do the same, just to show I'm not... I'll come round with it flat. And it removes the wood really nice and fast, and it's good. But we're still going to get this. Now the speed, as in, now this shows typically how speed improves, okay? We've got less fluffing, but we've still got some quite bad tear out there and there. That's going to be a nightmare to sand out, okay? You're going to be sanding for a couple of hours with that. So the way we'll stop that is, one, we don't come flat across. All we have to do is we'll drop our handle and we'll come in here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to lower my tool rest a little bit, so I'm not going to be... I think I've got my tool, hang on. Right, yeah, that's my tool actually on centre, but because I'm dropping my handle, I'm going to be cutting above centre, okay? And I'm going to come in here. Again, I've got it rolled to not quite 45, around 40 degrees. Handle. For this one, I've got the handle in front of the cutter because I'm pulling up and around, okay? But I'm using the bevel, look, no cutting, there's the bevel, that's the bevel in contact. Okay, now I've got the bevel in contact with the wood. And we'll get these shavings come off, okay? Right, that will start to smooth up. And we can go backwards and round, come round, keep your handle dropped all the time. Handle dropped, cut rolled over, there's a bevel. We're actually riding that bevel there, okay? And we're coming round. Now we should start to see, we're not round here yet, so we're going to have a flat, but look, see the end grain, the difference, where we haven't picked off all this yet, but there's no tear out on this end bit here, and this is as smooth as anything, look, okay? And that's the difference we get if we drop it down. We've still got these flats to get rid of, so we're going to get rid of them. Okay, now the difference, the reason why I'm not coming round and going this way, I can, and I will get a nice cut. But when I get here, you hear that? It starts to bounce. And that's exactly the same as what happens with a bowl gouge. Now we've got a nice finish because we're doing a push cut. We're doing a push cut on the bevel. Look, that's actually shining. Look at that wood. How shiny that is off of a carbide. Okay? And the torn grain has gone, and we haven't got the torn grain there at all. Okay, look. Beautiful and shiny, yeah? And that's doing a push cut, which is what you would do with a bowl gouge. Okay, bevel's in contact. There's a bevel. Okay, there's our cut there. Look, that's our cut. Let me get that. Look, that's what we get. Okay, nice little curl. So we've got a cutting edge, but what we've got here, I don't know whether you can see it, is we've got bumps. I can feel it. We've got lines here, we've got bumps, okay? I don't know how well you can see that, but there's bumps there, okay? And that's tool marks, and that is bevel bounce. If I do it, and I'm coming across this end grain here, and I'm coming across on a push cut, I'm fine here, I'm coming up here, I'm moving upwards. As soon as I get here, the bevel, because the bevel's trying to stay in contact, you're getting bevel bounce, and that's what's going to give you those tool marks. Okay, so the easy way with that is not to come not to come here with your tool level and you're on the bevel and you're cutting, is to drop the handle, put the bevel the same, and cut this way. And then we come past here with no bevel bounce. Okay, it's totally smooth. We've got these shavings. Okay, see, when you rub the bevel and you get that lovely shiny finish, it looks good, but it's not good because you've burnished it and no finishes are going to penetrate that wood. So you've got to sand all that off. If we do it that way, we haven't burnished it. But look, we've got no ridges now. They've completely gone. It's completely smooth all the way over and no torn grain. I've got the tiniest little flat spot still there. It's actually not flat, it's gone. But no tear out whatsoever. No torn grain at all on there. Okay, you'd think that's already been sanded. Okay, so that's what you practice it, and when you can get those finishes. And again, even though it's on this, and it works even if the piece is bigger, if you want to just get that little bit cleaner, come in with a detail again, drop the handles in front. Okay, we'll come on the bevel. There's the bevel there. Look, I can go backwards, no cutting. I'm up against the wall here, so I'm finding it a bit awkward. I'm going to go this side. It's going slightly down there, so because I've come up and gone down, I want to come up. When you're cutting with this, you always want to be going uphill. Don't go downhill. If you go downhill, it won't work. It must go uphill. See, look. And then we get these cut. Okay. So, we come here. We go uphill to the crest. There's the crest, okay? And then we turn round and we come uphill this way. To the crest. And we blend them. Don't be tempted to go downhill. It won't work. Keep the chisel nice and straight, and we're just on that edge. We've got the bevel. There's the bevel. Bevel's rubbing. Bevel's not actually rubbing. The bevel's floating. Okay. And then we get this finish straight off of our carbide detail tool. Look. Okay. No sanding, no sandpaper necessary. Right? So I'm sorry all you guys that sell the sandpaper. Not needed. If you're going to use carbide, you're not needed. I'm sorry. Right now, again, getting back to Robert. As you said, you was going to use your roughing gouge. No on bowls, I'm afraid, mate. And I did say, now, it as I said, it really is something that does annoy. I shouldn't lie, and Elise always says, don't let it bother you, but it really annoys me when people say, we don't use a roughing gouge because of the tang. And it's such a load of rubbish. And people will show you a picture of a snapped roughing gouge, and it's a clean snap there, where you can clearly see they've cut it to make it look like it's come on. If you've snapped it there, or you've bent it, then that turn is not worth listening to anyway, because they had to be holding that like this over their tool rest. Because there is no way, if you use this correctly and you present it with no more than an inch or so over that tool rest, no way on earth can you put enough pressure on there to break or bend that.
Exactly.
Okay, it doesn't work. The foot, you would have to be at least over half the way to get enough force on that to bend that, and you would have to be holding on to the end of this handle. Okay, and if you're doing that, that's just
wrong.
stupidity in the first place, and yes, it will happen, and it deserves to happen to you. As simple as that. Okay, and it's what annoys me. And the thing is, it's I've said it before, right? Now, I'm not knocking tool companies or anything. This isn't a cheap tool. This is Crown, okay? Now, why the hell does Crown give you that length of handle when all you're going to overhang is an inch over your tool rest? Because if you hang any more than that, you're going to hang on to here. Well, what's going to happen? They know themselves. It's a tang, it's a weak point, is what everyone says. So why give me this amount of handle to suggest I can do this? What's going to happen? You know, why make it with that much handle when all I'm going to do is overhang that? And it doesn't matter how big or round or out of shape your piece is, because if you're doing spindle work and you've got a big lump here and it cuts in there, then you take off the bit that sticks out first and you move the tool rest in and you move it. You don't take off that bit and then push your tool right over there to take that bit off, because this tool can't do that. Okay, it's not meant for that. Always keep it there, you'll never have a problem. Okay, so a lot of time I think tool manufacturers don't help the situation because they make that look like that's to do some deep work, don't they? You know,
Well, they're tool manufacturers, like you said, they're not tool users.
well, this is half
probably.
the problem. Tool manufacturers don't tend to be wood turners. Okay, and wood turners that sell tools don't tend to make the tools. They're made, you know, a tool manufacturer. They don't tend to be the people that probably made this. Probably never turned a piece of wood in their life. They make tools. They're steel workers. So there you go. Right. So what is the problem with turning? And I'm using a small. I'm not going to. Don't ever put a piece of wood like that on and try and turn it with a roughing gouge. Just don't do it. It's the wrong tool for the job. Why? Nothing to do with your tang, nothing to do with the steel, nothing to do with the forgeness. It's all to do with one thing. And I've said it before, that cutting edge, okay? It will present wrong to the wood, okay? Now I've got a small piece here. This is just a small, this is a bowl orientation, okay? Now I've got it on a step center, so if it catches, it can slip. And I'm going to put a point in this end, okay? And I do not recommend using a roughing gouge on any bowls whatsoever, but it's all right telling people all the time, but sometimes people just want to see the reason why.
Yeah.
So we'll put this here. Now I'm putting my tool rest at an angle. I shouldn't really, I should come straight on because that's how you would normally use one, okay? Right, so we're there. Right, and we're just going to take a few nice little cuts. So I'm using the 2-inch one because all my other gouges, my roughing gouges, I tend to, if I go to these smaller ones, if you look, I don't have a straight across. I tend to sharpen mine and roll these corners back. I don't want that big aggressive cutting edge. But even no matter what I'm roughing down, even my 2-inch roughing gouges here, they have these rolled back. I've got a bigger cutting area, but these are rolled back on the corners. So I wanted to use one which most people would normally have, which is straight flat. This one hasn't been used at all. I haven't adapted it. It's straight across still, okay? So now I'm here. So the most I'm going to overhang is this much. Now there's no way this piece of wood could ever put enough pressure there to break that, okay? And I'm not holding here. You can see where my hand is. I'm holding, I mean, I can take that handle off. I'm holding the metal. I'm not holding this handle, okay? I'm here. And that's how I would recommend to anyone. And if ever I teach anyone, I recommend that's how they hold their roughing gouge, okay? Do not hold your roughing gouge like this, okay? There's no need for your hand to be right down here and doing this. So, we're going to start that up. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I'm going to put my face shield on.
Definitely.
Most important thing, face shield.
Putting mine on.
Right, okay, so we come in and we think we've got our nice new roughing gouge. We're going to use it on this. It's just a small bowl. It should be all right, shouldn't it? So we come in. Now, how many people thought there was going to be an almighty bang and I was going to get a massive catch on this? It doesn't happen. It's not a case of that. But what happens is this here, where it tries to, it's not doing it over bad. I was really hoping you'd see the the lift up on this, but it's not showing it so much. Probably a little bit of a bad thing of me having such sharp tools, I suppose. They're so sharp it can handle it. Right, let's go again. Right, so I'm coming in. Right, now it's starting to catch a little bit, okay? Why I'm between centres, so if it catches I can stop it now. Right, now, one, you can see what I'm getting here. Okay, it's producing a lot of dust. It's chunking it up. Now, it's actually fairly clean, but what normally would happen, and like I say, you might get away with it a few times, but you'll get that one piece of wood where it's going to grab this and it's going to peel, try to take a whole chunk off is what it will do. And what it will do is it will grab in here on this grain here, and it will grab, okay, and it will want to chunk it off, and that's why we don't use it.
Are you turning at the speed that most people would turn that as well?
Yeah, I'm turning on a slower speed, so not because if I turn it up faster, this will work even better.
I know.
But it's not a massive bang and a fist. The problem is, like I said, you might get away with this, but you could put another piece on. Now, if you had a piece that maybe a piece like this piece on there, it would hit that and it will try to take that whole lot of wood off in one go. Okay, and the reason why is because we've got this big flat area. Okay, this big flat here. Now, I've said before, and it is not for bolt turning, and I don't use them for bolt turning, but I sharpen some of my roughing gouges like this with a fingernail grind. Okay, now the difference now, this is a very short tool, and again, I'm not saying to use a roughing gouge, but with this, because I can come in here and I can use it the same as a bowl gouge. There's no grabbing, it's not stopping the lathe, okay? Right, so, what's the difference between, as I said, they're the same tools, okay? That's a roughing gouge, and that's a roughing gouge. But because we've got such a smaller area there, and we can come in and use it on the side, then suddenly I've got all this lovely smooth, finish. Okay, so like I said, that I've put a radius on. I'm not saying to use this tool, it's not long enough in the steel, it wouldn't be good, but it's to do with that cutting edge. It is nothing to do with this as to why you don't use it. Okay, let's just clear that up. Right, now let's get back to our new carbides. So you've got a piece of wood like this and it's got sharp, horrible bits on it and stuff. Right, so again, we want to do our bowl. So we've gone from our little 2x2 bit, we're going to try a piece like this. Turn the speed up. Okay, as long as you're mounted nice and correctly between centres, it can't go nowhere. You must learn how to mount your piece of wood. Again, round cutter, handle down, come in. You're going to take away that nasty little bit there. You can see how light I have to hold the tool, because if I come round here like this, it will move that wood nice, look. Right, and if you're in a hurry, then that's a good way to go, okay? But, look at this. At least we'll zoom in there for you. Now, a lot of you who turn with your carbide will probably find you get this tear out on this grain, okay? Look at here, look. See all that tear out? Yeah. Okay, this is not a nice piece of wood, this is a piece of firewood, this. But look at that tear out. Now, there's no way on earth you're ever going to sand that out. Okay, you'll be going for a lifetime. Right, get our tool rest round. We don't want it straight across, we're not pulling. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to come in here. The handle down, okay. We're going to get this flat here on the bottom. Now you can see I'm rolled over slightly, handles in front. I don't want to push cut, I'll get too much bounce. If I come in here and I do this push cut like this, there, look, that's what it wants to do. So I will push harder to stop it, and what I will do is I will get tool marks and I'll get bounce, and that'll be just as hard to get rid of, okay? Because to stop that from doing that, boom, 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 I have to push harder, I press it harder on, and I'm making the problem worse. Come the other way with the tool, drop the handle, come round there. There's my bevel, okay, look, that's not cutting, little rotate, that's cutting. When you come round there, you don't get any bevel bounce. Right, we've got to come round for a couple more cuts here. Right, we're getting nice. I've got a little flat spot, I can just feel a little bump there. Right, we'll just come round there. We're getting lovely shavings, okay? This wood is bone dry, okay? Absolutely bone dry. Now, most of that torn grain's gone. We've got a little bit on that bottom, but look, all round here, we haven't got the torn grain. We've got a little bit of open grain there. The wood is firewood, but the majority of this is gone. This will clean up. We're not down to that finish yet. We're still getting bounce on these flat spots here. See, they're causing bounce. So when it's going round, you're cutting nice there. As you get to here, the tool bounces in, and then it gets to there and it bounces out again. So that will give you those few marks. But we've got no marks up here, no bevel bounce up here. We've got no torn grain coming up on this top bit here. Okay, so we're going to come in, we're going to take another cut. Put my tool rest round the other way. Okay. Now, it's not just cutting on the side. Let me clear that up. We are not just cutting by... Some people think if you just do that and come across there, no, because you're still just until you've got no bevel. Here, I'm not just turning it on the side and cutting. I've actually got the bevel. There's the bevel there, okay? The bevel is there, and there's the cut. You can see that coming off. Right, it's a cut that we want, okay? If we just do this, it will always want to, look, see where it goes? It wants to chase back, so you'll be fighting it. If you come in there, it always wants to go back downhill. You don't want that to happen, okay? We want that. We want control, okay? That's where it's cutting, look. And because the handle's at this angle, okay, you can see how steep that angle is. The wood is coming down onto a cutting edge, okay. There it comes onto a flat edge, and we get these curled scrapings, okay. We get that. It still looks nice, but it won't give the finish. We want it here, so the wood, the grain comes down, and we get this lovely little curly, okay. So if you get your piece of wood and turn by hand, and if you can get that, okay, and we'll keep going, we get a nice, oh, we dropped off, hang on, let's get another one. Right. Slow it down, right. If you can get these nice long curly, then that's where you need to be cutting with it, okay. So then you start your lathe up, and you come in, always turn it off first, look, like that, it can't cut. Rotate it, come round, there, it stops cutting again, so now you go back and you're on your bevel. And we can go backwards, pick it up nicely. And this is our carbide, see? We've got a little groove there. So we're going to come round. And we'll get rid of that. And we get rid of all that torn grain. That's all gone from here, look. No torn grain. Okay? It's all gone away. And again, even though it's this sort of shape of bowl, we want to come in and clean it. We've got our detail. I'm up against the wall here, so I'm a little bit... Okay, so we come around with our detail chisel. And there, look at that finish. And that's the finish we can achieve off of carbide tools, okay? So carbide tools are not just for... They're carbide tools, they're not scrapers, okay? If you use it to scrape, you will get a lot of mess. But if you use it to cut, and I've shown you, it's so easy. There's no catching. See, when I come in here, you come in flat. There's a chance you can always get a catch. If you get a catch, you'll know it, guys. If you use a carbide, you'll get that, well, a bit of a catch, a bit of a jump, grabs it. When you're here, you can never catch. You can't get a catch. Because the most this can do is just pull away there. Okay, you can't get a catch. It's pretty much catch-proof turning. Especially for, and you can just keep coming round and round and round. You won't get a catch, okay? You'll never get grabs or catches. When you've got odd-shaped bits of wood and you come in with this way, there's always a chance that bit, you've got to grab it and pull you down. You go a bit further over your tool rest and you didn't realise it wants to grab it. When you're down here, can't happen. And we're cutting up here. So you can see that's how far above centre I am, okay? That's where I'm cutting when I'm here. And that, like I said, is a cut and 100% no scraping. We're cutting, okay? So right, hope that helps you guys. Don't want you to have problems with getting torn grain and everything. You've got your new chisels, you want to get out there, you want to have a go. You've been looking forward to it. It's all going to be so easy now. No sharpening, no worrying, and this is the beauty again, guys. So many people will turn a bowl like that with a bowl gouge and then they're going to have to sharpen to do their final cut to finish. You don't. That will do it bowl after bowl after bowl. You don't have to go and sharpen it again and you'll get that finish. And we've got, because of the way we're presenting that tool, get no bevel bounce neither. So it's all right having a finish with no torn grain, but it's no good if you've got a load of bevel bounce and a load of tool marks, and you'll always see it. So when you come round and you can get that cut and you can get that to cut, and it's very, very easy to do. It really is. Don't listen to all the flat and pushing. It's not there. Right, anyway, hope that's upset a few people. Right, okay, guys. Now, like I said, never, ever, ever do we use a roughing gouge on a bowl, okay? Nothing to do with tangs, nothing to... You should never break a tang on a tool, no matter what you was turning. You should never, ever be holding that tool over far enough over that tool rest to be able to break that tang, okay? It's a roughing gouge. It's there. That is it. You know, an inch over, that's enough. You got more than an inch between your wood and your tool rest, you got too much. If it's because it's got a lumpy bit, then take the lumpy bit off with it, then get your tool rest in. Don't try taking the lumpy bit and then overhanging here to take the... Because you're just asking for trouble, okay? You got too much leverage. All the time it's there, It won't. You should never ever break a tang. Never. Okay. Right. Okay, guys, but just don't use them on bowls. That's not what it's for. Spindle roughing gouge is for spindle turning, and a fantastic tool is for. There is nothing better. Carbide, bowl gouges, spindle gouge. There is nothing in this world better. Even a skew chisel. There is nothing better than that for roughing down spindles. Getting those square blocks down to round. That's the tool for it. Okay. Right. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your Christmas, guys. It's Boxing Day. Well, it don't matter to me because being with Lisa, Christmas Day is like every day of the week. Every day's like Christmas Day. Just walk around singing stupid songs.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Right, okay, guys. I will see you on the next one. Toodle pip.
Bye, guys.
Enjoy your turning.
Yeah.